So, I was thinking to myself the other day, what are some of the best rivalries currently in the NHL? So, we're going to go through that. Hello, my name is Maxime Boutet, and today I am going to be discussing what I think the top 10 best rivalries in the NHL currently are. So, let's get started with our list. Starting at number 10, we have the Battle of Ontario, which is the Toronto Maple Leafs and the Ottawa Senators. Now, this isn't necessarily about if one team is better than the other team or whatnot. It's about what teams visibly hate each other. And Toronto and Ottawa definitely seem to have very good battles whenever they play, regardless of whatever direction either team is going in. That and they're two Canadian teams that usually play on national television, so it makes sense for that to be a rivalry. Next at number 9, we have the New York Islanders and the New York Rangers. Now this one is a rivalry because you have two teams that are in the same state that try to prove dominance over other, because not only they're in the same state, they're in the same division, because the Islanders and Rangers are both in the Metropolitan Division, which definitely means that you're going to see a lot of each other, which is definitely going to lead to a rivalry. Next, at number 8, we have the Anaheim Ducks and the Los Angeles Kings. Now, again, like I said, this isn't necessarily about teams that are good. This is about teams that visibly hate each other and have really good rivalries. The reason why I'm saying this is because this is a good rivalry despite the fact that both these teams are currently in the direction of a rebuild right now. Next, at number 7, we have, again, the Los Angeles Kings, but this time against the Calgary Flames. Now, this one is mainly a rivalry just because of Drew Doughty and Matthew Tkachuk. Those two love to hate each other. And it all started, honestly, when Tkachuk delivered a very vicious hit to Doughty in, I want to say, Tkachuk's either his first or his second season, something like that. And these two players have hated each other ever since, and it's made Kings and Flames games more interesting ever since as well. Next, at number 6, we have the Boston Bruins and the Toronto Maple Leafs. Now, again, Toronto Maple Leafs fans are probably thinking, why do you have to mention this rivalry due to Game 7s? But that's not the reason why this is on this list. This is on this list because both these teams, again, just like the Islanders-Rangers situation, both share the same division, while being in the Atlantic Division. Which means, again, you're going to see a lot of each other, which means you're going to have rivalries. Next, at number 5, we have the Boston Bruins again, but this time their rival in this number is the Montreal Canadiens. Now, Montreal and Boston has been a storied rivalry ever since the NHL was introduced, mostly because they're two original 6 teams that really, really hate each other. Because it's just in their franchise's history. From both the past and the present. Even though Montreal has beaten Boston in terms of majority-wise. Next, at number 4, we have the Battle of Pennsylvania, the Pittsburgh Penguins and the Philadelphia Flyers. Now, this one is on the list mainly because not only does it involve two teams that hate each other, it also involves two fan bases who hate each other. So, that makes this rivalry particularly extra special. Because you constantly have Flyers fans yelling bad stuff about Sidney Crosby just because he doesn't play for Philly. And you have Penguins fans that yell about the Flyers just because they act disrespectful by throwing stuff onto the ice. So it's definitely a fun rivalry. Next, at number 4, at number 3 I meant to say, we have the Vegas Golden Knights and the San Jose Sharks. Now this one is on this list because of how great this rivalry is, even though Vegas has only been in the league for 3 seasons. Because they've played the San Jose Sharks in the Stanley Cup playoffs twice in each of those first 3 seasons. And both those times endured some very good playoff battles. I mean, Vegas versus San Jose Game 7 2019 is one of the best Game 7s I've ever seen. This is a great rivalry. Next, at number 2, we have the Pittsburgh Penguins and the Washington Capitals. Now, similar to the New York Islanders, Rangers, and Bruins Maple Leafs rivalries, this one is again 2 teams that live in the same division and have both been in the NHL for a long time. Now, even though Pittsburgh has dominated this rivalry for the most part, it's fun because you get to see 2 teams that have a lot of superstars go against each other, and it makes for some very entertaining matchups. And last but not least, we have the Battle of Alberta and number 1, the Calgary Flames and Edmonton Oilers. Now, it is a shame that COVID-19 had to happen, because otherwise we would have had these 2 teams facing each other in the first round of the playoffs. Hopefully that can still happen, but it just would have been more special, because these 2 teams genuinely hate each other. Because earlier this year, we've had these 2 teams that had a goalie fight, which was the first time I had ever seen that, as well as multiple fights in all the games that they played against each other. So that is why I think right now the Battle of Alberta is the best rivalry in the NHL. And there you have it. That was my top 10 NHL rivalries. If you agreed or disagreed with any of my selections, please let me know. And leave a comment or subscribe. I would appreciate it. And I'll see you next time. Peace.